6. Clear signs that there's a bad person around you. Stoic philosophy. The truth is always there, waiting for us to recognize it. People can hide their true intentions behind clever words or seemingly kind gestures. But their real nature cannot stay hidden forever. It will reveal itself through their actions, especially when they think no one is paying attention. The reality is, bad people don't walk around with warning signs or obvious expressions of malice. They don't always seem intimidating at first. On the contrary, they often know how to create a good impression. They smile, they appear kind, they help you when you need it. They make you feel safe. Until one day, you realize things are not what they seemed. And sometimes, by then, it's too late. But this time, you won't be deceived. Today, we'll uncover 6 signs that will help you identify these people before they get close enough to harm you. These are subtle signals, small changes, those moments that make you pause and think, something doesn't feel right. If you trust your instincts, you'll become stronger, more aware, and have the power to choose who enters your life. As the Stoic philosophers once said, "We cannot control the actions of others, but we can decide who deserves a place in our lives." This isn't about fear, it's about wisdom, a way to protect your inner peace as a priceless treasure. Come with me, I'll show you these signs, so you'll never have to doubt yourself again. Sign 1. Using kindness to manipulate. There are men who initially appear incredibly kind, courteous, and always ready to help you at any time, anywhere. They might give you gifts, open doors, pay your bills, or assist you in difficult situations. They always make you feel loved, cherished, and protected. But behind this generosity isn't unconditional kindness. It's a clever trap designed to create dependency. Gradually, you become ensnared in a relationship where you lose your autonomy. A truly good man doesn't require you to repay his kindness. He helps because he wants to see you happy and joyful, not to secure your submission. If a man constantly brings up everything he's done for you and expects something in return, it isn't kindness. It's a dangerous tactic of manipulation. Watch out for these signs. He helps you even when you don't ask for it. You spend more time looking in the mirror, feeling that you're not beautiful or capable enough. You start doubting yourself, wondering if you're doing something wrong. That's how he manipulates you. He wants you to believe that you're not enough, that without him, you're nothing. Every time you feel confident, he drags you down with a seemingly small but weighty remark. And when your self-confidence starts to erode, you become more dependent on him, seeking his approval even more. And worse, you might not even realize you're the victim until it's too late. Be alert if you notice these signs. He frequently makes comments that leave you feeling inadequate. He makes you doubt yourself even though you used to be confident. You start changing yourself just to please him. You feel that you're not good enough without him. If you find yourself trapped in this cycle, stop immediately. A person who truly loves you will make you feel better about yourself, not make you doubt your own worth. Don't let anyone steal your self-confidence or pride. You deserve to be loved without having to compromise who you are. But you sense something is off. He's no longer the cheerful person he once was, and the atmosphere between you becomes heavy. You try to show concern, to ask more, but his indifference only heightens your worry. You start questioning what you might have done wrong. You replay your words in your mind, searching for anything that might have upset him. And then, when you ask too much, he turns the blame on you. You're so annoying. I already said it's nothing. Why do you always make everything into a big deal? In an instant, the caring partner you once knew transforms into someone who makes you feel guilty. You fall silent, too afraid to ask further, yet the feeling of guilt continues to haunt you. And so it goes. He repeats this cycle over and over. If he forgets a meeting, it's because you didn't remind him. If he snaps, it's because you supposedly didn't behave correctly. If he betrays you, it's because you weren't good enough, didn't care enough, or didn't understand him properly. He never accepts responsibility. Instead, he twists everything to make you believe that you are the one at fault. Soon you find yourself apologizing more and more, even though you haven't done anything wrong. You try to change yourself just to avoid upsetting him. Every word, every action is measured and cautious, solely to avoid triggering his discontent. Gradually, you lose your freedom, your spontaneity, and the joy that once defined you. The scariest part is that you don't even realize you're being manipulated. You simply believe you're not good enough, that you need to try harder to make him happy. You fail to see that he's controlling you by burdening you with guilt. This form of psychological manipulation is incredibly dangerous. Not only does it cause you pain, but it also makes you doubt your very self-worth. You start losing trust in your own feelings and thoughts, always feeling that you are wrong, that you must constantly do more. If you find yourself in this situation, it's time to pause and reassess everything. Ask yourself, are you truly at fault, or is he just shifting the blame onto you? Do you constantly find yourself apologizing for minor things? Do you feel that no matter how hard you try, you're never enough? If the answer is yes, then it's time to wake up. A person who truly loves you will never make you feel guilty for things you haven't done. They will listen, share, and work with you to solve problems, not dump all the blame on you. Don't allow anyone to manipulate your emotions. You're not obligated to shoulder all the blame in a relationship. You deserve to be loved, respected, and to be yourself, without living under the constant weight of guilt. If someone makes you feel at fault simply for existing, then that person doesn't deserve a place in your life. Sign 4. Lack of empathy. They never truly feel your pain. Have you ever sat and listened to your heart ache from the loneliness amid a storm of emotions? That is when you need a warm embrace, an understanding look, but the man beside you is so cold that you feel as if you're facing a lifeless wall. He may listen to your words, but they lack any genuine emotion. It's like standing in the middle of a scorching desert, desperate for refreshing water, only to be met with searing, barren sand. In reality, a man who lacks empathy isn't just someone who fails to understand your sorrow. He makes no effort to put himself in your shoes or to bear someone else's pain. When you pour out your heart about loss, failure, or overwhelming worries, instead of receiving comfort, you get shallow, offhand responses. Words that never reach the depths of your soul. He might say, "Oh, that doesn't sound too hard," or "Everyone gets sad sometimes, you'll get over it." But behind these words lies a void of indifference, a lack of a compassionate heart, leaving you feeling abandoned in a relentless downpour. In your darkest moments, When you desperately need someone by your side to share your pain, he silently turns away. You try to open up, hoping for a comforting word or a warm embrace, yet all you receive is emptiness. That's when you realize that, in his eyes, your emotions are nothing more than worthless debris, not worthy of his attention. Every time you shed a tear, he doesn't pause to empathize. Instead, he diverts the conversation back to himself, making you feel as though your pain is insignificant. This cruelty gradually shrinks your spirit, eroding your trust in people, in love, and in sincerity. It's not only in moments of sadness that his lack of empathy reveals itself. It becomes glaringly obvious when you need support and encouragement. Perhaps you've achieved something significant or overcome a difficult challenge, yet instead of receiving praise or sharing in your joy, you're met with a cold glance and hollow words. It's nothing, just a small thing, he might say, as if your hard work and dedication aren't worth celebrating. This indifference not only cuts off your source of motivation, but also makes you feel like you're living in a world where every emotion is frozen, where happiness exists only on the surface, never truly reaching your soul. Every time you long for a bit of understanding, a slice of shared emotion, you are met with his detachment. This turns every conversation into a tension-filled battle, as if the air around you is thick with unsaid words and misunderstood feelings. You slowly come to realize that in this relationship, you are merely a silent shadow, a secondary character in your own story. Your emotions become an endless, exhausting battle, where every tear is ignored and every sigh goes unacknowledged. You start to question whether you will ever be genuinely loved and cherished. And the answer becomes clear. If the person by your side can't truly feel your pain, then that love is nothing but a waste of time, a toxic connection that will only scar your heart over time. Remember, a man who is empathetic will never leave you alone in your suffering. He will always know how to listen and share your burden. But someone who lacks empathy, even if wrapped in sweet words, is merely masquerading as love to hide their own coldness. When you feel your heart burdened by loneliness and pain, that's the moment you must be alert and decisively protect yourself from unnecessary hurt. Never sacrifice who you are for a love that lacks genuine compassion, because you deserve those who cherish every tear and every heartbeat of your soul. You are not a toy for someone to play with. You are a person of value, worthy of being loved with all the passion of a true heart. He clings desperately to the past, dreads the future, and uses that fear as a shackle, turning the relationship into an oppressive, toxic space where the light of progress is never allowed to shine. At first, he may appear to be a caring person, constantly looking out for you and cautioning you against sudden change. Don't try to change too much, sweetheart. Everything's fine just as it is, he might say, in a soothing yet calculated tone. Yet behind those comforting words lies a fierce terror, a fear of losing control, of being replaced, of being left behind if you advance too far. He does not want to see you mature, because your progress only highlights his own inadequacies. Your success becomes a mirror reflecting his failures and impotence, something he will do anything to hide. These words are not mere concern or protection. They are a subtle, manipulative tactic to keep you confined in the safe zone of mediocrity, a stagnant, dull realm he has carefully constructed for himself. Inside, you feel a tug of war as your soul craves freedom, longing to soar high, to live a life unbound by invisible restrictions. Yet every time you dare to dream or step out of your comfort zone, he descends upon you like a storm, crushing any spark of innovation and making you doubt the worth of your aspirations. "You'll regret this. Nothing will change the way you expect," he says, his cold, chilling voice slicing through you like knives. His words pierce your heart, leaving you feeling lost and imprisoned in a life devoid of progress. You watch silently, feeling the deep pain of someone terrified of change, yet you find it impossible to break free from this conflicted relationship. Remember, love is not a place to suppress growth. A healthy relationship encourages both partners to evolve, learn, and change over time. If someone persistently tries to block your progress and hinder your development, it means they merely want to keep you locked in the stillness of their own insecurities. Do not let your heart be crushed by their false reassurances. Be alert. If someone is so afraid of change that they stifle your growth, they do not deserve to walk alongside you on the bright road ahead. Ultimately, you deserve a love that cherishes freedom, that nurtures progress, and that never fears change, because change is the path to true success and genuine happiness. Yet behind that tender smile lies a sophisticated strategy of manipulation that gradually strips you of the power to control your own life. From the very beginning, he makes you feel as if everything he does is for your own good. "I just want you to be safe," he murmurs in a deep, soothing voice, as if these words are heartfelt advice from someone who truly cares. But then, when you try to open up your world, when you want to experience new things or meet new people, he steps in to stop you. "Remember, I'm taking care of you. Do you need me to come along? If you go out and something happens, I'd be so worried." Such sweet words are laced with the unmistakable marks of control, making you hesitant to venture out into the vast world, fearful that leaving his protective grasp will plunge everything into chaos. Moreover, he never allows you to make even the smallest decision independently. Whether it's choosing what to eat for dinner or deciding on weekend plans, he always interjects, "Have you thought this through? I don't think your choice is really the best." His tone carries a command, leaving you feeling as if you are incapable of making decisions on your own. Gradually, you become increasingly dependent on him, believing that only he can steer you away from mistakes and shield you from life's risks. You start questioning, is this true love, or merely his way of manipulating me? Over time, this pressure leaves you feeling confused, trapped, and increasingly insecure. The person you once envisioned as a partner, the one with whom you dreamed of soaring freely, now becomes a shackle, binding you with unseen chains. In the face of such covert control, remember one thing: genuine love is never about confinement or imprisonment. A true partner will encourage your growth, respect your decisions, and never seek to dominate or restrict you. If every attempt you make to express yourself is thwarted, if every idea and decision of yours is belittled or dismissed, then it's time to wake up. Do not let your heart freeze under the weight of these counterfeit, loving words. Ultimately, you deserve a life of freedom, a life where you decide your own destiny. If a man, hiding behind a mask of love, refuses to let you be yourself, don't hesitate to step out of that darkness. Find the light again and reclaim control of your life. For only when you stand firm on the solid ground of freedom can you truly live without being ensnared by the invisible webs of manipulation and control.